What up, YouTube? This is Josh. Welcome to Soul Brothers Groove. Today we have a special guest with me. We have Marv, my boy from college, the original Soul Brother. What up, Soul
What's
Brother?
good, soul brother?
How you doing, my man?
Chilling, man.
Yeah, and I just want to give a special shout out today to all my Soul Brothers and sisters. I really want to thank you guys for being here. And today we have a really important topic to discuss. We're going to be talking about the state of hip hop, where it is today, what does hip hop mean to me, what it means to Marv, and where do we see hip hop being in a couple years. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, Marv, and really want to appreciate you, being a part of my show. Because I know how much you love hip hop, and I wanted to get your opinion on where you think hip hop is today. And I guess to start off with, what does hip hop mean to you? Like, what got you into hip hop, and what does it mean to you?
What got me into hip hop, bro? Damn, I don't even remember what got me into hip hop. Brother, getting kind of old now, but I think it was the storytelling, just the how raw things was. My uncle, growing up, I'm from an African household, so I listened to a lot of African music. My father listened to a lot of reggae as well and jazz. So hip hop wasn't really big from a family coming from the Ivory Coast. But my uncle listened to hip hop and just how raw Biggie. Like I remember listening to Biggie and just thumping my head like that.
Yep.
That not even understanding really what's going on, but just the storytelling, understanding like, dang, who was that New York Knicks shorty Biggie try to smash? Like, this the storytelling of that and just continue this growing up. That's all I really had, especially being at the time being an only child and just needing something to get through life. It was hip hop. And you hear a lot of people say hip hop saved my life. That's like a saying, and I'm not gonna go that far, but it's definitely consumed everything around me and motivated me to get through places. And you hear where these rappers come from and such like that. So that's what hip hop means to me. It's a culture. It's a culture that pushes us forward.
Yes.
Every day.
Exactly.
What about yourself, soul brother?
And that's funny too, because me being Dominican and I come from a Hispanic household, the music we listening to is, is bachata, salsa, merengue, like all the Spanish stuff. So I wasn't really listening to like much hip hop. It was funny because my parents actually tried to keep us away from hip hop just because it had a lot of swears. So as a young kid, I was never really listening to it. But when I got to high school, that's when I really started digging into a lot of hip hop albums, and I really appreciated like a lot of Nas, a lot of Jay-Z's.
So you started out in high school?
Yeah, I'd say I started like to really appreciate. Of course, I listened to it throughout middle school, but I never really got to appreciate hip hop for what it is up until high school. Definitely like listening to new and up and coming artists like Kendrick. Listening to him, really made me want to get deeper into and really understand, the history of hip hop, and like where does these new artists get inspired from. And so it's funny because I thought I understood what hip hop was exactly in high school. I thought I was getting the gist of it, but I remember a couple years back, I can't remember the song or the interview that Ab Soul, our favorite rapper, he was talking about hip hop and like what it means to him exactly. And what pretty much Ab Soul said, he's like, he said hip hop, the word hip is, educating people, getting people to understand, whether it's, slang, teaching them about, what's going on in the world, what's going on, in the community, whatever the case may be, is just educating people on certain aspect of life that they may not be, accustomed to. So, that's the word hip is, bringing people aboard. Right. And then the word hop is just pretty much, getting people to respect that lifestyle or understand that lifestyle that people come from.
What song was that? I remember him rapping that too.
I don't know. I can't remember off
the
top of my head.
I remember hearing that.
Yeah, if you remember it, I'll put it in the comments to make my life easier. But if not, I'll have to do my research. But yeah, I remember him saying like, like we're losing the touch of, educating, because a lot of people, yeah, it's cool to rap about sex, money, and drug, but you know, hip hop originated from teaching people things and you know making it a culture. People used to like you know rap and people would dance to it. Like you know, it's definitely like a culture where I feel like you learn and you teach people. Like it's all about you know giving feedback to each other. So that's pretty much my understanding of hip hop. And you know, when Absol you know explained that in that way, you know, it really made me appreciate hip hop on a whole nother level.
We need another Absol album.
Man, I don't. We do. Hopefully, man. It's 2021.
We need another top. Need to get on. We gotta get Top on the phone.
Yeah, we gotta get Top on the phone, man.
Because we need another soul album.
It's been too long, man. So hopefully, you know, we have a lot of albums coming on the way from the TDE camp specifically. So that being said, you know, what do you think like is missing out today in hip hop? Like, what do you feel like is missing? Like, I feel like you know, hip hop is going towards more that mainstream culture where people just want to hear like that trap beat. They just want to like hear music that you can listen to in the club. But you know, I feel like that substance in music is just like missing out. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
No, it's crazy. I don't think it's interesting. I don't think that there's substance missing in hip hop. It's what is being played.
Yeah,
like there's some dope artists. There's really
there
dope
is.
artists, and I love where they're taking hip hop right now. However, it's not being pushed, right? It's not being pushed but at the end of the day, Josh, you know what's crazy, bro? We're old, fam. We don't we don't push hip hop no more.
That's true.
Hip hop has always been a kid's game, meaning whatever the kids are listening to, that's what's going to get pushed. You remember when we were younger, you know, we'd hear the old heads being like, oh man, y'all don't know what real music is. Y'all don't know about KRS-One. Y'all don't know about but now we rocking with the Lil Waynes and them. And that's what we push. And then the generation under us is gonna push, like we pushed the J. Cole's, the Kendrick Lamar's. That was us when we were in high school, early college. That's what we're listening to. So that's what's gonna get pushed. Then that generation after us was the Thug and the Future. We're still there, so like we still rock with it. Then the generation after that's when things get a little wonky. You know, that's when the 6ix9ines and all of those start coming up. But we don't have that control no more. We're not that youth no more that pushes the music. All we can do is just listen to the artists we came up with and hope that they continue to make good music. And that's just how it is. That's how I see it anyways. The youth has always been the one to push the hip hop music.
And I definitely agree with you because you know, like when I was high school, I feel like, you know, discovering artists like Kendrick and Absol, like you know, they were definitely up and coming, but a lot of people were giving them the attention. Like you weren't hearing like trap as much, you know. But I feel like when it comes to the listener, like you said, it's definitely you know, it's up to listeners, and like it is a young kid. Like whatever people want to listen is whatever is hot right now. So that being said, what do you think listeners can do to you know, kind of bring back the culture? Because I feel like history kind of repeats itself. So do you think it's just do you think listeners have to do a certain thing a certain way for it to come back, or do you think over time, you know, a lot of these albums that maybe are not as appreciated right now, you know, they'll be appreciated like 5-10 years down the line?
Yeah, at the end of the day, bro, real recognizes real. Meaning like good music will always last forever. You know what I'm saying? That's why J. Cole's 1985 was so big. Because like, yo, you're hot right now. What's man's name? What's the little dude's name?
Lil Pump.
Lil Pump. Trump's boy. Like you hot right now. But what's gonna happen over time? That's gonna be hot for a year or two. You're gonna get all your accolades, but over time, the real artists are still going to be making music and still feeding the streets. So yeah, us as old heads right now can complain about, oh, this music playing right now is trash and stuff. But when the Kendricks drop, when the Coles drop, when Jay-Z or Nas still want to decide to drop music, those type of artists and the young up and coming artists like Earth Gang and Jid and those guys will have real substance. Smino, Mick Jenkins, those dudes have substance. They're gonna be around forever, whether they don't get the accolades that they deserve. That's one thing, but they're good. Their music's gonna last. Instead of the little pumps in them, who they're gonna have their fun. They can maybe win awards here and there, but it's not gonna last. It's not gonna have substance.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you. And kind of piggybacking off what you said, I feel like a lot of artists, like their music is really great, and a lot of like artists, like you said, Nick Grant, Mick Jenkins, they do stay true to themselves when it comes to like the hip hop. Like their music is great. They have great storytelling, great concepts. The bars are there, so like kind of going off of the Drake intro, like where it says all the real music is gonna last. That's so true. I feel like a lot of albums in the 90s sort of say that we listened to when we were like kind of growing up. If you look at it back in those days, those albums, for example, like Reasonable Doubt, that album, it wasn't considered an instant classic. Nobody was like, oh, this album is a classic. It took like 5 years, 10 years down the line for people to be like, wow, this album is amazing. Like this is a classic. So, I agree. Like eventually it's going to go all back 360, and our kids are going to be like, wow, like, oh, this Kendrick is the best rapper ever. Mick Jenkins, one of the greatest rapper ever. Like there is a lot of hidden gems, but I feel like it's up to us to not only push the mainstream artists, but also push the the underground artists that are not really known. And
so how do we push underground artists?
I feel like it's just whenever you're around with friends, and whether you post it on your Snapchat, on your Instagram story, post what you listen to, because you never know who might be like, oh, let me check this song out, because I know Marv has good taste in music. Like let me check this song out, because I feel like he has good taste, and if he puts me onto his music, I might want to check his whole catalog on. So I feel like just listening to it, and introducing to other people to the music, because you never know. I feel like what people lack is just listening to the songs. They just never listen to it because it's not what people play. It's just not popular. So if you can just take a step back and put something that's not popular around your friends and see how they take it in. Some people will like it, some people won't, but hey, the people that do like it, they will show other people. And if you continue that chain, like hip hop will always stay alive.
For real.
So Marv, where what do you think like hip hop will be like 5 years from now, whenever you have kids, and what do you think hip hop will be then?
Man, like the artists now are so creative, bro. Like that's why I'm not complaining about the lack of substance, because like when you look at mention the Sirs, the Sminos, the D Smokes, what's his name, Guap Dad 4000. Like you hear these dudes, they're very unique.
Yes,
they're very unique. They have the different type of styles, and like I'm excited. I don't know where it's going, to be honest with you, but I'm super excited because lyricism is back. I think we had the time with the trap and everything like that, and that's great. Trust me, I love me some trap music.
Yes,
but nowadays people not really listening to that trap music if they don't got a little bit of anything in there. Yeah. You even hear Young Thug starting to speak a little more English, so we can start understanding his lyrics a little bit more. Like I love the direction hip hop's going, because now there's so many subcategories, and you got the rappers who sing and the singers who rap, and there's the different variety of music, and you can still have your dance music, and that's something that's culturized from hip hop that's never gonna go away, but you're still gonna have the lyricism, and it's good, man. It's good. There's definitely a hierarchy in hip hop and different subcategories. So I'm just excited. In 5 years, that's what, 2026.
Wow.
There's gonna be new up and coming artists. You know what I'm saying? Like just stepping up right there. So I just know that the sounds are just gonna be different. Like nowadays, when you listen to music, you can't even tell if some rapper's a West Coast artist or East Coast artist.
That's so true.
So
that is so true.
I'm excited though for where hip hop's going. I'm not discouraged. What about yourself?
I'm actually, I'm definitely excited because, like you said, there is, a lot of great artists out there. One of my favorite artists is definitely like Mick Jenkins, and I'm always excited to hear what his next upcoming album is gonna sound like. So, I feel like 5 years down the line, we're gonna we're gonna look at Kendrick as a legend. Like he's gonna be somebody we're gonna show our kids his music too. Right. So people like Absol, like the whole TD camp in general, like we're gonna be showing their music. I feel like hip hop is gonna definitely come back where a lot of the mainstream is a lot of lyricists, the top lyricists, whether it's some hits, whether it's some just really good music. I feel like it's just always gonna stay relevant. I'm excited, and I feel like we as kind of like the older generation right now is to kind of just teach the younger kids where we fell in love with hip hop, like what artists really inspired us and really made us want to listen to more hip hop, and just kind of like making sure we pushing like that culture forward, moving forward, because like you said, you never really grew up listening to any kind of hip hop. You were listening to what your parents were listening to. So I feel like if we were able to teach our kids, these are the artists we listen to, these are the artists that your favorite artists learned from and like was inspired from, I feel like hip hop would it's gonna get better. And one thing I do love is the production of hip hop, of where it's going. Yeah, if you look at it back in the 90s, it was like a lot simple.
808,
808,
yep,
boom bap, yep. A lot of jazz, and like now it's definitely a lot more complex. So I'm definitely excited for the production of the music, but I'm definitely looking forward to see how the lyricists are, because if you think about it, there's a lot of underappreciated lyricists. Like, for example, King Los. He's, in my opinion, one of the greatest lyricists I've ever heard in my life. And
man, did you hear King Los's freestyle on
which on the Sway in the Morning?
With Sour Milk and what's their name?
And DJ Milk.
Yeah.
DJ Milk on LA Leakers.
LA Leakers, bro. That's hey, listen to me right now. That's top 5 freestyles of all time. Type in King Los LA Leakers freestyle.
That one's one of my favorite.
If I have a request for you,
yeah,
you have to do that freestyle on your show.
Definitely. And it's funny because in that freestyle, he was actually kind of like going at, I feel like he was going at like a couple rappers. I'm not trying to mention any names, but
sure was.
It was definitely excited to see. I feel like hip hop is definitely competitive. Like at the end of the day, rappers are always trying to compete with each other. Who has the best albums? Who has the best bars? Who has the best songs? And I feel like that's what's kind of missing out on hip hop. Everybody's the competition is just kind of not there right now. Like people are just kind of like taking it easy, not like releasing music. And I understand like there's a whole pandemic going on, but I feel like back then they used to apply the pressure. Like the more if somebody a big artist release some music, you're like, I feel like you're forced to like try and release some music so you can remain hot. So
I feel like now, not to interrupt you, now music is just dropping every single day. It's so hard to keep up.
Yeah.
This artist will probably drop 4 projects in a year sometimes.
That's true. And that's what I actually like about the TDE camp. It's kind of bittersweet because they take 2, 3, 4 years to drop an album, but hey, when they do drop
it's quality.
It's like they have no whack album. Like it's all great albums. So it sucks at the same time, but I love them so much, and they really helped me grow my love for hip hop. But that being said, like, what do you think like the mainstream artists can do to show that they really respect the culture and trying to help the younger generation understand what like the hip hop culture is?
That one's tough because I don't even know if some of the mainstream artists, respect what happened before them.
That's true because I feel like I've seen a lot of artists. I can't name name them off the top of my head, but they were like, oh, who's like Tupac music was trash or whatever,
Right.
you know, disrespecting a legend.
Right, a lot of them do that because they don't take the time to listen to the dudes who paved the way for them. Some rappers sound like the rappers before them, and they don't even listen to them.
Yeah.
Like all y'all are the sons of Lil Wayne, and y'all don't even listen to.
You
Like,
don't
you know what I'm
listen
saying?
to
It's
it,
like
exactly.
it's just that's tough. Obviously, we know that, you know, there's some of the mainstream artists, like we keep mentioning, Cole and Kendrick and them, like they're always going to pay respect. You know, we saw Kendrick in his album bringing a guy like DJ Quick on his album, right? To me, it was like, I know DJ Quick was respected, but now that Kendrick introduced me to him, I want to go back and listen to some of his music. And man, DJ Quick was fire. All right, this is kind of hot. So like those are ways paying respect, but it's tough, man. And it's a new generation. They're gonna do their own things, and they don't understand that all those things that they are doing, it's been done before. Y'all just remixing it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been saying, history always repeats itself. Like, you know, do you think, like, I feel like, you know, whether it's Kendrick or Absol or J. Cole, like you don't see them freestyling, whether it's on Fun Flex, LA Leakers, Sway in the Morning. Do you feel like, you know, even though they're not dropping albums, so to say, do you feel like just being active, whether it's dropping a single, dropping a freestyle, do you think they should be doing that?
I wish, like, imagine Drake came out on Funk Flex and just dropped a freestyle. Like that'd be dope.
Yep. I mean, last time we saw Drake in a Funk Flex freestyle was him rapping off of Blackberry.
And rumors came out that was even his lyrics. But hey, man, I digress. But yeah, that'd be dope. It's kind of like the slam dunk contest, right? Jordan and Kobe and all the greats used to do in the slam dunk. Now it's too cool for school. Like, yeah, exactly. You know, you gotta let the young up and comers do it. But I would love to see. But like they all did it when they were hungry.
Yeah.
Back in the blog era, like 2010, 2011, 2012, we saw Kendrick's in the freestyle and Schoolboy and all of those dudes come out. It doesn't happen no more once you reach a certain status. And I wish it wasn't like that. You know, you would want to see your favorite artists go into these radio stations and drop bars.
Yeah, exactly.
And put the hip hop on notice. Like you said, it's a competition, bro. And it's unfortunate that we haven't seen that move forward.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, also one of the things that I feel like has been missing is, you know, it's just beef and rap. I feel like there hasn't been a lot of like rap beef.
You want beef?
You know, I feel like, Josh, I feel like there's a lot of, I feel like a lot of people nowadays, a lot of rappers are just kind of like throwing subs. They're not really like
as long as it's healthy beef.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously just that competitive edge, you know. I feel like if somebody thinks they can rap better than you, or the same, like they're the greatest rapper or top 5, like I want to see other rappers you know, give their opinion in a track. Like, you know, that's why when Drake and Pusha beefed, I actually enjoyed that beef because, you know, it was the first time in a while where rappers actually like name drop, you know, and it really got personal, so to say. So I kind of feel like, you know, I want that competitive. I want rappers to hop on somebody's beat and show them, you know, I can have a better verse than you can in that beat. And I want like all the great rappers to rap in the same track to see who has a better verse again.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, you know, it's been a while since we had that. Like, when's the last time we heard a track like One Train?
The Posse tracks.
You know, it's been a minute. So like I feel like, you know, where it's at, there's a lot of great artists. Joey Badass, you know, all these guys, they fuck with each other. So I want to hear them all collab together. Like I want to see who raps better. Like Kendrick and J. Cole. We don't really hear them do anything together.
Right,
you know?
Right. I like that idea. I got one question for you. So we're naming all of these big artists and mainstream artists and where the state of hip hop is, right? What do you see it is with women MCs?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. I really am excited about the future for the female MCs because I see a lot of them up and coming.
Who's one that you're really enjoying right now?
I think the greatest female MC is definitely Rhapsody.
Oh, she's the top. She's the best. There's no better rapper than Rhapsody.
It's sad. I don't see a lot of women listening to her.
Nah, she doesn't get run.
I understand. I love Meg Thee Stallion. I understand Cardi B. Like I understand that's what you guys like, but I feel like I feel like Rhapsody is somebody that's gonna, like, when we're older, like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of young females really listening to her music and really appreciating it for what it is. So
rap has out rapped your favorite rapper.
Yes, and that's what makes me excited, is that, you know, there is female MCs that rap better than a lot of these males, like a lot of these rappers. So I feel like as long as we're supporting you know, the women as much we support the men, I feel like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of up and coming female MCs, and, you know, I'm excited because I do want to listen to a lot of these females rapping, seeing what they have to say, because I feel like they have the potential, they have the flow. Like Meg Thee Stallion's flow is crazy. Like her freestyles, like all her freestyles when she blew up and she was up and coming, like her freestyles go crazy. Like, so yeah, I'm excited for sure. Like, what do you think? Like, do you know any like female artists that's up and coming right now that you really enjoying?
Someone we brought up earlier before the show, Chica goes hard, bro.
Chica's amazing.
I love Chica.
Chica's amazing.
You know who I really like? I love Flo Milli.
Flo Milli.
I love Flo Milli. She has
I like Flo Milli.
She has her own little unique. It's different, but she goes hard. From Philly, she goes hard. Yep. I really rock with Flo Milli. There's this UK artist, Ivorian Doll. She's from the Ivory Coast. She goes hard. She goes hard too. She's up and coming. And then you got the veterans. I like Meg. I didn't like her last album. I thought her last album was
I don't like that.
Was overproduced, and it got away from what we really liked her for. But you know, it's popping right now. She's got her thing. So shout out to Meg. And rap is one of my favorite artists. Yeah, Rhapsody is one of my favorite artists. And I know why she's not in many features. Rappers are scared, bro. Scared. Like I was listening to an interview with Reason, because Rhapsody is on Reason's last tape. Oh yeah. And Reason's like, yo, she washed me, bro. Yeah. She washed me. I wish I went back and changed my verse. It's because rap does that. You put Rhapsody in a track, she's gonna wash you, bro. Yeah, she is. She's nasty like that. She is, man. And she keeps getting better and better. So Rhapsody is one of my favorite artists, man. The state of hip hop with women is bright. It's unfortunate that every year there can only be one spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and Nicki took 10 years in the game when there was mad artists, but it was only on Nicki. Then Cardi came. They tried to make that Cardi and Nicki beat. Cardi had a good 2-year run as the spotlight, and then Meg's on the spotlight now, and she's having her run. Where it should just be all the female artists are just collabing and taking over this the scene of hip hop. And unfortunately, it's not like that right now. But with your show, brother, I'm sure it will be.
So, you know, now it's 2021. We're in February, actually about to be going into March. And the way time is flying, we're about to be in March in the next couple of days. But like, are there any albums you're looking forward to? Like, do you feel like artists, a lot of the mainstream artists should drop, you know, a project just to kind of like bring back the hunger, the competitive edge in hip hop?
Yeah, I'm excited for music, and there's some artists that I'm looking forward to listening to. But you know what's crazy, and I could be wrong. Music's not hitting the same because of the pandemic, bro. You know, I
feel that, man.
You know, like with music, with me speaking for myself, with music comes memories.
Yes, that's
so true. Like, if I'm bumping For Your Eyes Only, I'm always thinking about my commute that I had to take to Natick where I used to work, and that drive, and that how For Your Eyes Only would always play, and it got me through traffic and stuff like that. I'm not going through traffic. Yeah, I'm working from home, bro. Like, I don't have memories with music. I don't have, you know how many thumping songs and Meg Thee Stallions dropped so many hits and stuff that we couldn't hear in the club and really enjoy it. It's like, those are, when you hear those songs, there's memories. I feel like without those memories with music, sometimes it hasn't been hitting the same for me. So like, even Dreamville, when they dropped the third tape, that was an awesome album.
It was.
I feel like I would have enjoyed it better if it didn't come out in a pandemic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, there's a lot of music that's come out and I'm listening to, but it's just I would like Reason's album. Amazing album,
but it just didn't hit the same.
It's not the same, bro.
And it's funny because I was listening to the album on my commute to Connecticut to see my girlfriend, and I was just like, damn, like I've been looking forward to Reason's album because Reason is one of the up and coming artists that I really enjoy. So when I listened to it, you know, it was really great, but it just didn't hit me. Like I listened to it for about 2 weeks, and I just kind of haven't gone back as much as I usually do when I listen to an album. But do you feel like that's why artists are maybe like just kind of you know, laying back and not really dropping any music?
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. You see artists, you know, dropping singles here and there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's possible pandemic. You know, people are going through whatever they're going through, and hopefully summertime, you know, get your vaccines or whatever you need to do. But hopefully, you know, when things start to go back to this new normal, you know, music will hit a little different. There are artists I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking forward to dropping who I think I found a new hunger, Wale.
Oh my God, Wale!
I was actually
listening to Wale on my way here.
I'm looking forward to a Wale tape. He's been hungry as of late, so I think that would be crazy. I think Fab. I'm talking about old school guys now, but Fab. I think Fab would drop some fire if something were to come out. It's been a little bit we've heard from Fab, and obviously, you know, the TDE camp, Schoolboy will always get you through. Kendrick, of course, we don't know when that's gonna come out. J. Cole's said that he's got some heat on the way, so I'm looking forward to all that. The young and up and coming artists, Jid, Reason, all those, you know. So there's a lot of artists that I'm excited to hear from in the hip hop world, and when it comes out, hopefully, you know, it'll hit different. Shout out to SZA.
And I feel like, you know, at least from hearing like rappers interviews, I feel like all of them, you know, when they're making albums, they like to be inspired. They want to grow an inspiration, whether it comes from, you know, being on vacation, visiting another country, whatever the case may be. I feel like, you know, they haven't really had the chance to, you know, be out and about and, you know, try to gain inspiration. So, you know, it is very interesting to see like how these artists that are dropping new projects, like Kendrick especially, I want to see like where he grew his inspiration, like what his album is going to be around, like whether it's going to be a lot about politics, a lot about the racial issues. It's going to be interesting to see like where they grew their inspiration from. So, you know, I am excited to listen to a lot of hip hop albums, but the way it's going, I mean, I went into 2021 thinking, I'm like, yo, all right, this Friday, I'm expecting one of my favorite artists to drop something like just randomly. But I haven't seen that. I have not seen any type of promotion from any album. So the way it's looking is like, yo, 2021 is looking slow for music as well.